Canaanite necklace. The Canaanites traded with Egypt as early as 3300 BCE. Items of jewelry, such as the necklace above, were commonly traded. The Canaanites used a lot of gold and jasper, a tough red stone, in their designs. Balaam's donkey. After many years, the tribes of Israel were finally allowed to go to the promised land of Canaan. They arrived on the plains of Moab, fresh with victory over the neighboring Amorites, and camped in their thousands along the Jordan River across from Jericho. Balak, who ruled Moab, was horrified at the sight of them. He sent his envoys with a message and a fee to the famous soothsayer Balaam, who lived on the banks of the Euphrates. A people has come out of Egypt. They cover the face of the land and have settled next to me. Come and put a curse on them because they are too powerful. Then I can defeat them and drive them from my country. Balaam received the message and slept on it. In the night the Lord came to him and said, "Do not go with these men. You must not put a curse on the tribes of Israel because they are blessed and are the chosen people." So Balaam told the envoys that he could not help them, and they returned, unsuccessful, to Balak. But the king refused to give up and sent the most distinguished princes in the land to Balaam. They offered Balaam great riches, but he replied, "Even if Balak gave me his palace filled with silver and gold, still I could not go against the word of the Lord my God. Stay here tonight, and I will find out what the Lord says." That night, God spoke to Balaam to see what was in his heart. "Go with these men, but you must obey me and do only as I say," he told him. So, the next morning, Balaam saddled his favorite donkey and set off with the princes back to the land of Moab. But God was not pleased that Balaam had gone. Suddenly, as they plodded along the dusty road, the angel of the Lord appeared, sword in hand, to stop Balaam. The little donkey saw him and shied off the road. But full of his own self-importance, Balaam was blind to the apparition. He cursed and beat the donkey to get her back onto the road. Then the angel appeared again, blocking a narrow path that snaked between two vineyards with walls on each side. Again, the donkey saw the angel and squeezed against the wall to avoid him, crushing Balaam's foot in the process. As before, Balaam did not even glimpse the angel and beat the donkey. For the third time, the angel appeared, standing in the middle of the path. It was impossible to get past. The little donkey's legs folded under her, and she collapsed to the ground. Once again, Balaam saw nothing, and he beat the donkey to within an inch of her life. At this point, the donkey opened her mouth and asked, "What have I done to make you beat me?" "You have made a fool of me," he shouted. "If only I had a sword, I would kill you now." Then suddenly the Lord removed the veil from Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel, gleaming sword in hand. Terrified, Balaam fell to the ground. "Why have you beaten your donkey?" asked the angel. "I would have killed you if she had not saved you, but I would have spared her." Balaam begged forgiveness, and the angel told him to continue with the princes to Balak in the land of Moab. "Go with these men, but speak only what I tell you," he said. When Balaam arrived, he was met by the king. "I have come here as asked," the soothsayer said, "but I can speak only the words that God puts in my mouth." Together they went up to the mountains where they could see the tribes of Israel below. There they built 7 great altars and put a bull and a ram on each one as offerings. Then Balaam left Balak and his princes with the sacrifices and climbed higher to the most solitary peak to meet the Lord. When he came down again, the charred offerings were still smoldering, and Balaam delivered God's message, blessing the people of Israel instead of cursing them. Understanding the story. Balaam is known for his powerful curses, but these are forbidden under Moses' law. The curses are unable to contradict God's will anyway. While the donkey is faithful, Balaam is initially blinded by greed. When the angel bears a sword, Balaam sees the light. He asks for forgiveness and ends up blessing the Israelites. God ensures Balaam and his donkey are part of his commitment to keeping the covenant promise. Fortune-telling tool. Though Balaam believed in God, he was known to use curses and make predictions. Unusual artifacts were used for these occult practices. This clay mole of a sheep's liver was a typical aid to foreseeing the future in ancient times.